Okay, so I wanted to do a part 2 because I don't want to just leave you guys with a problem that there is no solution to, especially if you can't get into your provider and you cannot tolerate your denture causing you pain, if you can't afford to get the care that you need. So let me try to give you some solutions. And these aren't the best solutions. The best solution is to go to your provider, but let me do the best that I can. So this product, you can Google this and you can find it on Google. It's called pressure indicating paste. It's not cheap. I think it's on Amazon as well. I'll try to put it in my showcase, or just go to Amazon yourself, whatever you want to do. A little bit goes a very long ways with this product. So this product is just a cream, and this is, I think this is just a, I don't know, it's a cheapy brush with really stiff bristles. It's what I use in my office. And so you take just a little bit of this and you paint it very, very, very thin in the denture. When I do it, I like to leave little streak marks on there, because when you leave little streak marks, those little streak marks can be disrupted when you put it in your mouth by the sore spots, by the high areas. So that'll clue you in. Now, of course, I don't have dentures. I don't wish that I did, but it would be really easy to show you if I did. But anyways, you can paint this all over the inside of your denture, or just in the area that you think that it's, you know, causing you problems. And like I said, a little bit goes a long ways. So, and if you can't find this brush, I can't remember the name. I think it's called an etching brush. I'll try to put a link to that as well. But anyways, they're literally so cheap. You can use any kind of brush, just as long as it has a stiff bristle. It's helpful to use a stiff bristle on there. So you put that in there very, very thin, and then you're going to place it in the mouth and bite together firmly. Give it some firm, pressure. When you take it out, you're going to see a little disruption wherever that has rubbed in the denture. So if the sore spot's right here, the tissue's going to press against that, and there's going to be a little disruption, and you can look at those little streak marks and tell where that disruption is. Now you have to be careful, because this stuff can also be tricky. So if you have it up here on these little edges, okay, they can get rubbed away just from the motion of taking this in and out over your gum. So it can have a little rub mark on the side right here, but that is usually just from rubbing over the ridge when you're putting it in or taking it out. And when you do put it in, you want to keep your fingers outside, when you're putting it in, and when you're taking it out, try to take it out the least disruptive way that you can. Try to keep your tongue off of it so that you're not rubbing, areas that don't need to be rubbed, okay? Pressure indicating paste. Look for it on Amazon, Google it. It usually comes in like a cold cream size container, and it'll probably last you for the rest of your life. I was gonna send them out in these little things. I'm not gonna do that. I feel like it's not responsible of me, but I have several years worth of this. Okay, moving on. These are Dr. Thompson sticks. Dr. Thompson sticks you can also find on Amazon. I think they're called Dr. Thompson's applicator dye transfer sticks, okay? I'll try to link those as well. I think I might have them in my Amazon marketplace, and why not buy it from me and let me get a little credit for trying to sell some stuff? If not, whatever. So anyways, so when you have a sore spot in your mouth, you take this dye stick and you put it right on the area. So let's just pretend, okay? Put it right on the area where it hurts. And it's gonna leave a little purple little dye spot, okay? Then you take the denture, you put it in your mouth, seat it in, bite together, and that dye is, let me just wipe it off so I don't have a purple lip, is going to transfer right onto the denture in the exact spot that sore spot is. So you'll take that out and it'll have, just a little purple, this isn't very wet, so, but it'll have just a little purple spot, you know, like right there. So you know exactly where that sore spot is. So you're not trying to decipher, you know, where that correlates when you take it out of your mouth. So what I would suggest is a little piece of fine grit sandpaper. That way you're not going around with an electric drill and getting areas that you shouldn't be getting. If you are dead set on using a nail drill or a Dremel, this is the burr that I was going to send out. This is called a silicone point, okay? This is not a very aggressive burr. So I have nail kits, I do my own nails, and I know that some of those are really aggressive, take off a lot of acrylic when you use them. This one is not gonna do that. It's just gonna take off a little bit of a layer at a time, and you don't wanna use this at a high speed. You only wanna use this at under like 18,000 RPMs, because if you go any higher than that, this is gonna get unstable because it's a softer material. And also you don't wanna go too fast and heavy on the acrylic because it can actually burn the acrylic. So under 18,000 RPMs, most nail drills come at 30,000 RPMs, sometimes up to 45,000 RPMs, but you need to stay under 18,000 RPMs for this. So a little bit at a time. You want to be very conservative, you know, do the adjustment. And I don't mean like do the adjustment, put it in, do it more, put it in. I mean like do it a little bit and put it back in. That tissue's inflamed. So if you do a little bit, I would give it some time, at least a few hours, to see if maybe the inflammation goes down and it feels better now without having to take off too much. Preferably wait 24 hours and then give it another go. Once that inflammation goes down, it might be okay, but do a little bit at a time, and I would be very, very cautious in taking off the length, especially back here where I talked about in my previous video. This, you take this back too far, your denture's gonna fall out. You take that length back too far, the denture's gonna fall out. This one's a really common issue, the back border of the upper denture in making a patient gag. There is a delineation between the hard part of the palate and the soft part of the palate. It's a line right there, and if these are made too long, goes beyond that line, it's going to gag the patient, likely. And if a patient is just kind of a gagger, that line might have to be a little bit shorter. But my advice to you is take a little bit off at a time and then try it out. I would be very careful with thinning the denture. Thinning it on the palate, on the outside, on the tooth side of the palate, that's okay. I mean, this denture, you can kind of see through this. It's pretty thin, especially where that patient's tori is. You know, most acrylics are pretty strong. They're not going to break. This is a high impact acrylic. It's not going to break. I mean, I wouldn't make it so thin you can see see through it like to your fingerprint, but it can go pretty thin. But be really careful with this area. Be careful with this area. You'll mess up your lip support. Little bit at a time. So I wish I could send you guys out these adjustment kits, but I value my license, and I'm afraid it would be a huge liability on me, and I value your guys' investments. I don't want to see you mess up your dentures, and I don't want all the providers to be coming after me, because I honestly would be pretty ticked off if my patient didn't come to me and let me adjust their dentures the right way, and they just took a Dremel to their denture and messed it up and then expected me to fix their screw up. I tell my patients, do not adjust your own dentures. I've got the good tools, and I typically don't charge for adjustments. I mean, if it's not my patient, I'm going to charge, but even then I only charge $35 for an adjustment. But I would get ticked off at my patients if they were adjusting their own dentures, so I would really rather you guys not. All right, that's it for part 2. Not going to do a part 3 unless you want me to. Probably sick of hearing me talk. Have a great day, guys. I hope this helped. Bye-bye.